your first time?
No, it ain't my first time on camera. Or the first time with the hammer. Or the first time with the blam. And it's mic check, it's a scammer.
You see, there's a certain level of connection.
Making it go hard.
Mic check, mic
Feeling
check.
hella odd.
Hey, Solomon, can you say something real quick?
Like massage.
9/11 was an inside job.
Okay. No, I just wanted to see if I could hear you fine, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, no, you all good. Uno, dos, uno, dos.
Uno, dos.
Testing, por ranto. Testing.
Rampeto.
Okay. Alright, I can hear you. Perfect. Onda, y'all? We are back to another Misunderstood, the one and only David. I got two hosts today. Host.
Oh.
Two hosts. He said host. Hell no, it's two hosts. My bad, my English sometimes be getting to me. Got my boy Solomon and my boy Joseph. We out here just kind of throwing it all off again about random conversation. You know how it is. Conversation always hit you. Sometimes some unexpected conversations kind of, sometimes it gets deep than what it really is. It's just one of those moments. Sometimes it's inspiring. It can bring you down. Whatever it really is. I'm going to start it out by saying, how do y'all know who to choose around your circles, even when y'all know it's not the right person before y'all know it?
It's kind of funny. I was actually having that conversation yesterday with my younger sister. Like, in the beginning, personally, I don't really care. Like, right off the bat, it's when I get to know a person through... See, what am I trying to get from somebody? How do you handle your problems? How do you handle, let's say, conversations? Like, if I ask you something that, like, in a contextual sense, whatever it might be, let's use fucking Nazi Germany. I ask you a question about Nazi Germany, and you just start regressing to, that's bad, but you can't give me a reason, then I probably can't hang out with you. Because I'm a deep thinker. So that's kind of how, if you're not a deep thinker, it's not going to work out.
So in other words, you choose people around your circle that are out of the box type shit.
Pretty much. I mean, you can be in the box just as long as you have an opinion. I just like people with opinions. I'll put it that way.
Why? So why does other people opinion matter to you? Is it like a certain answer that you been looking for, or if it's something just naturally come to you?
Fear. The way I think is very different. Like, the way I think about things is very different. And if you don't have your own opinion, you're probably not going to be able to handle me. But also, in my case, I need people to challenge me in the things that I think. Because I don't believe that the things that I believe are true or even proper. But I feel the way I feel for, certain reasons. Certain feelings about the world around me. Things that I've seen. Things that have happened. And it just needs to be challenged. At least that's what I think.
What was the question though?
The question is, how do you deal with somebody that is wrong for you before you realize that it's wrong for you? Like you know that person does not belong in your circle. Even though before you realize it, let's say it's just something probably that doesn't bother you too much, but when do you know, or how do you know that it's time to cut that person off?
I think ultimately,
Or do you choose to cut that person off?
I think
Do
it
you
depends. It depends on the depth of the relationship, to be honest. Like, how deep does a relationship go? Like, sometimes it's not years invested into a relationship, so it's easy to just be like, all right, fuck this. This ain't useful or beneficial to me or them. We can end this. Then it's those relationships where it's years invested and emotion invested, all type of things. So it becomes a what is it called? weeding out process where you digress from like interaction, so that way you're not as connected. The connection isn't as strong, so it create those barriers
Oh, okay,
to protect you.
right.
You know,
So to kind of break it down to those normal people, in other words, it's been said many times, and I said it many times. Sometimes you got to recognize when a rat is a rat and a snake is a snake, and place them exactly where they're at. You cannot you cannot think of somebody the way you want them to be. It won't work like that. You just got to recognize when that rat bidding on you. So that rat gonna feed on the trash, and the other rat's gonna follow, because that's all what rats kind of do. But not just there are kind of different kind of groups, because there are critters, snakes. Even a snail can even do some type of sort of damage. Slime.
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. I'm not just gonna say yeah, I agree, but yeah.
All right. Maturity. What is maturity to you, or to y'all? Meaning.
Oh, I think it depends. Everybody got their own version of it, I'm sure, of maturity. And I mean, in a sense, it's just it's the stage where you developed in the person that you needed to be for that specific task, emotion, or uh, environment. I guess you could say. You just reached that. You reached that stage of understanding.
All right. That ain't too bad of an answer. What about you, Solomon?
There you go.
The great wise one.
Oh man, a lot of pressure. No, see, I think if there's somewhere in the Bible, I don't have the best memory, but it's something like I put childish things away. There comes a point in time where all those, let's say, some things are just simple play, like fighting, play fighting, puzzles and stuff. But then there comes a time when all that stuff becomes, important. They become actual skills that you can actually use in life. And I think maturity is learning when when it's time to use those skills.
Okay.
Problem solving, basically.
Right.
Children really aren't expected to solve problems. They're guided into knowing how, but they're not expected to actually solve any problems.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that's just my family.
Right. No. It all makes sense. I mean, because there's no wrong answer to what you say, because
Right.
everybody got their own definition of what it is. And from what I took, that ain't no wrong answer. Like, because what I wrote down of what maturity is when you know that other person is lying, but you just smile and let it go. That's the metaphor
That's maturity, and that's specific in emotion. That's the maturity of conflict or shit like that. Something that's it's in a realm of anger. It's like a soft anger
Right.
in a way, but it's that conflict emotion. You know you matured in a way of resolving conflict within relationships.
So, in other words, also knowing how to control the reaction.
Pretty much, yeah.
Um.
In a way, in a sense, but it's just you. That's how you define. That's to that specific emotion though, and conflict.
All right. I mean, because when I asked
Different
this,
stages of maturity.
right? Because when I asked, it was just more like off the fresh question off the bat. Y'all just answering off the bat.
Yeah.
I answered this of me. I actually gave some thought, like how can I really?
Yeah. You in the realm of emotion. I'm in the realm of like technical skills. That's what I'm thinking. A maturity state or things that can be implemented to show that you're aware or you understand how to go about certain things or certain tasks. Did that make sense? What I'm saying?
I get what you're trying to say. Are you trying to say something, or are you gonna ask
It's
something?
like the two words. It's like the phrase. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the mind saying, confirming, I understand in a way. But that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe it don't make sense.
I don't know. I think the context of mature when
He approaching it in terms of emotion. You approach it in terms of habit.
I think it's
Well, I won't say that it's based off an emotion, because if you really hear what I try to say when I say when you know that the other person is lying, but you just smile and let it go, that also kind of break it down of knowing you controlling your reaction instead of laying like you know that the motherfucker's lying instead of you just pointing it out.
Mhm.
And
So it's also another thing. My bad to keep cutting you off because now you still in the realm of emotion, but it's like the emotion of betrayal and trust.
okay.
Does it
Now
make sense?
now
I get
now
what you're saying.
Yeah.
now
I get what you're saying.
I get what you trying to say. And I'm trying to stay on topic of what you trying to say. Now, I think of you receiving how what I'm saying is just showing like where how you taking out of this sentence. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're it's just more like there's a fog to the bigger picture of the puzzle.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So you only seen at a piece of a puzzle than the whole
All
puzzle.
right. I gotta let it play out. Just shut the fuck up and let it play
No,
out.
no.
He said, just shut the fuck up. Let me finish what I'm saying. You keep cutting me off mid sentence and shit. Nigga, shut the fuck up.
I think the question means a lot of different things to all of us.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in my case, when I think of maturity, I'm thinking in a much more. I mean, it's kind of similar to what you're saying, but in a relationship kind of way.
Mhm.
Our relationship to people, or others.
And see, that's why I say there's
Like
no
self-control.
there's no
Wrong
wrong
answer,
answers to
yeah.
this, because the question come off different to everyone.
Right.
So it's no wrong answer
Yeah.
to what you're saying. We all right.
Right.
We are all right. But it also goes
We all
to
approaching it from different angles.
right, and exactly.
Yeah.
And I was exactly about to say that we all approaching it to different type of topics.
Yeah.
So if the way you answering is a certain kind of topic, just the same way how I'm answering, well, using this metaphor.
It's, to me, maturity just breaks down to expectation in
Right.
relationship to who we are and what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say.
Oh wait, can we just pause it right there?
Go ahead.
In terms of maturity, is what'd you say? As far as expectation,
The expectation in our relationship to it, like responsibility.
Okay. I forgot where I was about to go with this shit now. No, but it was in terms of expectation. It's like you're able to meet the desired outcome. You mean?
I mean, whatever you end up finding yourself wrestling with, whether that be a job or, I don't know, the outcome of a situation you find you and your friends in, like maybe your car crashed. It could take two directions. You could all run, or you could tell the truth. You take your pick. It's a very, that's more of a macrocosm of it. But
See, for me, that's just a little confusing though too, because like you know how I said that words is only just like it can only explain so much because it doesn't fit into a description exactly to what we feel.
Yeah.
So how you said that, how I took it, let's kind of break it down. Expectation, definition on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you expect. It's not what actually gonna happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I find my mind wrestling with at this current phase. It's like, say you got an onion, and we all peeling back different layers of what that could mean, or what the core desire can be defined as. You know what I'm saying?
It's like we all put in our code in to
Yeah.
unlock this shit. Gotcha.
Until we reach that core and our individual selves say, okay, this is what I believe to be true now. Does that make sense?
Yes or no? That's my answer.
Yeah.
I actually think it sounds very similar to what you're saying about somebody's lying, you choose to let it go. extent, I mean, can you really get to the core truth of what someone's saying when they're lying, or why somebody is lying?
Like, what's the truth?
Yes, yeah.
Like, what's
truth
the
that they're
reason for
trying to
that?
hide? Yes, what they're trying to hide. Why are they lying? Can you really get to the truth of that?
Well, that's just because it's something on them that they decide
Yeah.
that they are scared to show
So
or tell.
You can choose to keep engaging, or you can choose to disengage, like you said. If you keep choosing to engage, you start to peel away the layers, and then maybe they just keep telling you lies, and whatever is at the core could be anything.
But all right, now here's
You don't know the truth until
here's
they
the
tell
thing
you.
though. So
You hope
How-
they tell you.
how would they know
Uh-huh.
if they acting of it because it's a natural thing, or are they acting towards it because of an emotion?
I think it kind of depends on the person at that point. I mean, you know,
You say, hold on. You say, are they reacting to it because
Is it
of
like
a natural
naturally-
thing,
Like naturally coming to them, or
like instinctually,
or are
Yeah.
they acting towards it because of an emotion that had make them triggered to go that way? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to kind of break it
Yeah,
down.
I think you said the same thing. Yeah. To me, I think it's like if that truth link with the instinct that you already feeling, I guess, in a way, if what they say is true. You get what I'm saying?
or the fear of,
Like, say if somebody said, say you was thinking some shit, or the person thinking some shit, like, oh, this motherfucker, they probably cheating or some shit like that. And then the person, first they denying the shit. They denying the shit, like, no, I ain't doing that, blah, 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 you know? They keep denying it. Then that person finally breaking, like, yeah, I did cheat. I did do this shit. And then the original feeling is, damn, this motherfucker. Well, I was right about it. You was a fucking going back to the original thing. Like, oh, you was a snake. So you only gonna know. You only gonna know unless that person say it.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, it's just speculation.
But if they never tell you, then how close can you get to the truth?
You can't unless they tell you. That's the ultimate thing.
So then if you stop asking, you decide to disengage, whatever you've left with is what you believe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's your choice.
All right.
I don't know.
All
I
right.
don't know where we're going with that.
Um,
We just fucking.
All right, moving on to the next thing. What comes to your mind when you hear this? Your true or false, or however y'all really want to take this knowledge as. Your next move matter more than your last mistake.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not how many times you fall down, it's how many times you get up.
Okay.
True. I'll say that. I'll say.
But a bullet could take, believe you that.
Oh,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
That's where you get hit.
Do y'all agree with when about this? You're a man. Show up every day to fix your life. Do it alone. Do it broke. Do it tired. Do it scared. Fuck your mood. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But,
I mean, you really don't got no choice. Or if you don't do it, you're gonna get done. If you ain't using. I mean, if you ain't finding ways to like advance your situation, shit, pretty much just being used or somebody else's dream. Either way, so I don't know.
A very comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for yourself.
Don't believe in luck. Believe in your hard work. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. I am not what you think I am. You are what you think I am. Which I'll take that as.
I mean, that last part is, I don't know. I don't know about that part, but I think a person is defined by their own self, pretty much.
And also just to kind of clear this out, these are just kind of notes of what people kind of gave me to kind of give them feedback and what I think of it.
Right.
So it's just more also they also getting feedback from not just from me but also from y'all.
Right.
So it's just like what I got wrote down, just some hard lines about life. That's the topic that I put on this. All right. Next one: shoes and people. If they hurt you, they are not your size. I kind of like that one. I ain't gonna lie, because it was kind of funny. shoes and people hurt you. If it hurts, it's not your size.
Little bars there.
Yeah.
I feel like this one. I felt like he going through a woman problem.
Hold on, repeat that again.
Nobody watches you more than the woman who left you. She wants to see if she made a mistake.
Maybe. Who knows? I think both parties.
I don't agree.
It depends on the individuals.
Yeah.
And I think both parties do it just depending on the individual. And yeah, people reflect. People go through a state of reflection where they're like, all right, did I make a mistake? And it's, you know. Or some people just don't give a fuck. It depends. It depends on the individual.
All right, we all the same age. After that much of experience of life, what would you say that is the shit about being in your 30s?
Maturity.
The shit?
At least in my opinion, the maturity.
Like, what is the shit for you to like, you know, since you marinate and then, you know?
I don't know. You shift or the shit?
Like, what is the shit for you to be in your 30s?
What's awesome about being 30?
You're right, exactly.
I don't know. I guess a new level of
Just thinking.
maturity. I guess you could say. I don't know. I guess for me as an individual, nothing exciting me yet. It's nothing that exciting. I can't even lie. It's not that exciting as of yet. It's still a process of growth. It gave me the opportunity to examine things more from a more
My bad.
better position than I have going in my 20s.
So,
But I haven't shifted in a way where I can like, oh, this shit is remarkable right now. Not yet.
I mean, you don't think like the knowledge that you have now, you wish you would have known in your 20s, so you could be able.
Of course, but that's past thinking. I'm thinking forward. That's the shit that's cool. I wish I would have had that, but I'm not no time traveler, so I can't go back and look at that shit or fix that shit. I can only fix this shit. You know, I can look at the ashes of that and think about, okay, how do I fix that?
Okay. I think I kind of confused you with the question.
You get what I'm saying?
Cause what I'm hearing is more like, what's your dream, and then having accomplished it. That's kind of what I'm getting off of it.
I'm still structuring that dream. So, yeah.
But what I was just saying, like,
you just saying what's some good shit about being in your 30s?
About yourself, not like
Yeah.
about like, you know, what you had to give other people advice. It's just more like what's.
No, that is myself though. That was my other advice. That was for self. I was saying like it gave me a chance to examine mistakes that I made in the past, and it's still giving me chances. Like it's a never ending process. It's a never ending process. It's not like I don't feel overly accomplished. In other words, I don't feel overly accomplished in my 30s at this moment. That's the feeling I'm aiming towards. So I can't give you a fake answer of, oh, this I feel incredible. I'm doing this. No, I'm gonna tell you the real shit. The real shit is I'm in the process of developing that feeling of freedom. That will be that's the end goal. That freedom to like actual dream and actual build on that shit on a consistent level, day to day, and having a team to do that shit.
Could you repeat that question?
No, I actually had a different question because of what he was saying, because I wasn't trying to interrupt him because I was trying to keep him on the page where he was at, but it was leading to a different question, but to the topic, but it's more of the emotion that you had during that time for you to kind of understand what I was about to say.
The emotion I'm feeling about that?
Like behind that, not exactly right now, but behind like all that, like for example, how you just said that you don't feel accomplished of what you had gotten, right?
Yeah. Only because.
So my question to where you was feeling when you was talking that out is more like, Like, how come us people, even when we have our own dreams, like, and I'm just not with yourself,
Yeah,
but all
yeah,
of us
yeah.
overall, why do you think we burden ourselves more than just try to boost ourselves? Why do we victimize ourselves like that instead of just saying, you know what, I can do this? Why do most people go off a burden weight and being the victim instead of trying to just do it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for those people. I'm not one of those people. But
You is some people. You is your own people. So it's just
I'm
like
not them people. This is where I define myself. I define me. That's the whole shit that I kept fucking reiterating. If I took on those labels, then that means most people already think niggas think from a victim mentality. I'm not a nigga that think like a victim. I'm a nigga that think, how the fuck can we stay inspired? How the fuck can we elevate from this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't speak for that because that's not a mindset I'm bowing to. Maybe financially being working at a job, motherfucker might perceive that, but that's still not a mindset. I do that out of survival, like we all doing. We all doing that, but beyond that physical shit, mentally I'm not there. No, I'm thinking progression.
It's killed.
So I'm not. I don't know. I can't tell you how them niggas think.
What about you? And just kind of follow up the question is more of not it ain't. It's going more back to what we had a conversation earlier about how what's stopping you, and you said it's fear, right?
Yeah.
Why do you burden yourself from letting that fear get to you?
I think I do. Or at least I make an effort.
Like, so do you like do it purposely to kind of just
No, not at all.
to kind of weaken yourself, or do you just kind of overcome it for you to just like, you know what, it's just all in my head, it's all normal?
The way my mind works, it's kind of like you put things into it, and I'll do exactly whatever it is that you're putting into it. Like, you should do this way, and I'm like, oh, it worked. I'm going to do it that way. And the only way I know, because I grew up, I'm one of 10, and we're all homeschooled, so it wasn't really, friendship was discouraged. I'm, to some extent, probably not even the best person to talk about, sociology to. But from my perspective, because of that, the way I grew up, there were a lot of mistakes I was not allowed to make outside of my family. When it comes to family, I was talking about this at dinner. We were allowed to, beat each other up. But anyone outside the house, you're not even allowed to be, or even supposed to be friends with them. So they're, like I said, it's like a completely other nation. You don't know what their culture is. So if I do this, am I going to get stabbed? Am I going to get in a headlock? And then, they do it for more than 10 seconds.
Wait, what? Your brother's going to be stabbing you?
No. I'm talking about somebody outside the house.
Oh, gotcha. Outside.
Yeah, we can fight each other. It's fine. There's no problem there. It's like, it's like dogs or cats.
We bleed blood out here.
Yeah, but then if you try and play that way with somebody outside the home, this isn't actually true. I'm sure, both of you know this.
Right.
Yeah, but that's just the that's just the mindset that's cultivated in a state of fear.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
And that's what I'm saying.
I don't necessarily
like them niggas.
You're very different from me. Especially, socially, you are definitely a lot more confident about starting.
That even took confidence, though. Honestly, I mix and mingle with the right crowds, and that was also my brother taking my hand, like, to help guide me through certain crowds where I was forced to examine different
really?
different elements of things. Cause I was enclosed. My mom didn't want us out in bullshit. Like she,
like any parent.
Yeah, she just was protecting. She's very protective. So you had to go out and discover certain shit a little later than other kids. Some shit, and also you got to see people that went first and went out there and like fucked up their situation or mishandled their situation. You can see the mistakes that they made.
So, do you think if your life played out the way you wanted to, do you think your character would have been different?
I didn't know how the fuck I wanted my life to play out, so I can't say that. Now, that from this older, state of mind. Yeah, but it's not my place to do that. It's my place to fucking structure something for somebody else to be able to live out maybe a life that they want to
Still
live out, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to make it too deep. Maybe it's not as deep.
I understand what
You
you're
feel
saying.
me?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Only I'm trying to also break it down for those people that don't go that deep.
Yeah.
Because you know how some people don't got voices in their head, right?
No. I thought everybody has some type of subconscious where they feel like,
Some people don't got no voices. I done talk to people who said who got no voices. I'm like, so what do you think? And I was just like, I don't. So it's just like.
so how are you responding?
Exactly.
Are you a
but
robot?
but do you also know like okay? So this from my perspective, what in my head there's sometimes like a back voice, which sometimes create like a dark side, and then there's sometimes that's a good side, which make me sometimes make decisions at what time.
Yeah.
My younger self, I used to listen to the dark side where it made me choose the wrong decision, which was my anger.
Right.
So I used to let that motherfucker run things, but that's what made me do stupid ass decisions.
Right.
But I think it's my consciousness is what I created it to kind of control myself. So some people got the same shit that they created a good or evil type shit. Like a lot of people like who was our ages, but throughout the time of me talking to them, I had asked them like, do you think this was a self thing that we had created, or was it the programs that they had programmed us from us watching cartoons and all that? Because that was the beginning of the start program.
Yeah. Cartoon definitely was the first program.
Yeah. So so I asked them, do you think it was like created or because we was programmed to for us to kind of somehow survive out of that to also, you know.
Who knows?
But that's just how I see things. I don't know about y'all if y'all also got like a good voice in there and then there's a bad voice.
I mean, we all do. We human. That's just the human nature.
I don't like saying we all do because I can't speak for everybody. We all different.
Just say you met some people without a voice in their head.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that I think they just don't. I don't know. I'm not in their head, but if they responded, they gotta have some type of consciousness. They have to have some type of thought process where they thinking inside their head and reflecting about it.
Yeah.
Because they respond.
I guess is there only one angel in there, devil angel, whatever, one conscious in there guiding you? What is that conscious trying to protect? It's actually kind of.
But there's also said that there are some people who don't got a voice.
I gotta see these people. So I see. Yeah.
And that's where how I was at first when I was trying to just meet people who don't got a voice, and it is kind of rare, but that's those are the people I kind of just stick around and talk to a little bit more beyond questions, just kind of see how their head plays at.
And what type of life they live? Like, are they usually successful or what are they?
Is it a mixed crowd?
It definitely is a mixed crowd. I think it's just more. For me, what I could kind of describe it, they kind of seem like the best way I could describe it is just kind of like people just to take up space to kind of blend in and make the world look normal type shit.
I don't know, because I do think to some extent I am that kind of person. And if I were to go back to your question,
but not hearing voices in your head?
No, would you do it? Would your life have been turned out better if you had, what was it? If you had gotten what you want, or whatever you wanted to happen to you happened.
If I was able to change anything, would it be what I wanted, and would I be different?
Yeah, everything that I've been through, it's just my way of thinking, but everything that I've been through, I'm grateful for because they make you a stronger person, good or bad. You can't go back to change them. I think had I been spoiled as a child and I had gotten everything I was expecting, not only would I be a cog in the system, but I'd probably be on Epstein's island. Yeah, I was not somebody who followed conscious. It was much more, this is what people think I should do, so I should just do it. I was very subservient to adults, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So, in other words, what it sounds like they describe it is one in automation, the other one that took control of the wheel. My boy used to call it having both hands on the steering wheel. Like you control your destination. So when you saying people don't got conscience, now I think I understand. It's like they don't got that voice in their head, and that voice actually represents independence, confidence, ego in a way. That ego can be empowering or not,
All right.
but their ego is submissive, so it's never posing a question to itself. Like,
Like,
man, do
not-
I really like
whenever
this?
you-
Consciousness.
It's like not activated. type
It's
shit.
not activated. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Whenever you have a moral decision in your head, then and let's say you have two voices in your head. What do they say?
For me, well, I do got them two voices in my head, but
what do they focus on? What do they try to protect?
it ain't nothing that they protect. For me, what them voices come depending on how the day plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say a motherfucker step up to me wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Dark say, like, hold up, man, we usually don't deal with this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, now that I'm, like, more self-aware and since I'm, like, the third party, I'm like, hold up, guys. Like, let's regather. Let's see the bigger picture of what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, the third voice is me.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that I'm able to kind of communicate with these people, or these voices in my head,
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to make better decisions and control my reactions.
I'm not sure. Maybe this is just me, but
But to answer your questions, you said what do they say, right?
yeah.
And and to answer your question, it's just more whatever the day played out. Like let's say I just like a car accident happened out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
The voices in my head will be like, "What the fuck, bro?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But that's it.
What
But
about
But I think
10
it's not
seconds?
separation though. None of this is us. For me, it's like a seed being planted in different environments. Depending on the soil and the environment, it determines what like things develop or plant or fruit or what else? What else can grow? Whatever grows out of the soil.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on the environment. So whatever environment a person's stepping into is going to create that emotion and that feeling and shit like that.
That's actually kind of what I'm trying to describe when I say two voices and what do they try to protect.
So it's no separation. That's how I see it.
Now,
It's just the expression that goes into that. That's for that environment.
the one thing
I guess you could say.
we'll never know is what's going on in our own heads or in each other's heads. Because
Right.
no matter how we try, it's a feeling,
Yeah.
and like you said, feelings are hard to describe.
for me, like to us kind of break it down another way, what those voices is like a yin and yang type shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm.
And like
Sorry, yeah.
whatever bad negativity, whatever it is, obviously it triggers the bad one.
Mhm.
A good joyful day, it boosts up the joyful part. So it's just more like I said, like however the day plays out.
Let me give you guys a test. Let's say I'm like, hey, I want you to take this supervisor role. What pops into your head? You're over 10 people.
You said a supervisor.
Yeah, you're a supervisor.
Well, first thing first, I'll start asking questions. I'm
Mhm.
like, what is the job about? What is they paying? And the location type shit. Simple basic
It all
stuff.
sounds positive. So what is the yin and yang there? What are you thinking?
Then it's just more like good news. It's beneficial for me.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no yin and yang part. It's more of the third voice, which is me making that decision. That yin and yang.
There's no dark side to it.
No, because
That's
that's
not being a supervisor.
no. Because there's nothing for it to trigger yin and yang for that reaction. There was nothing for it to kind of pull it in.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now if I were to offer you a supervisor position, there's 10 people. You're over 10 people.
Me right here,
Huh?
I'm shell. I'm in a motherfucking I'm in fear mode where it's like, am I qualified for that shit at this present time?
There we go.
Because the weight of it,
Mm-hmm.
and also
Money's good. The money's
yeah, the money good, but the way this situation in this current time
Mhm.
is like, am I qualified for that? And that's just doubt. That's fear. That's me acting in that state of mind. But it's also a side of me where it's like I can't do this shit, and I have to calm down fear and be like, yo, yeah, this shit might be hard. Yeah, this shit might be difficult, but let's just walk through this shit. Let's take on a philosophy of the baby. Remember, the baby didn't come out fucking walking. It didn't come out crawling. It had to develop these habits. It had to learn the pattern of these things before it was able to do it. So calm down and let's learn the pattern.
Grow into it.
Yeah.
But for
This season,
I took that answer more of just like you are questioning if you're prepared for this job. What he said to me earlier of everything, it's all plus things of good money, everything above. It sounds like more like you don't know if you're able to take this role.
I told you. I just said that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And
But
uh,
it's to me it's just one of those that ain't no job too hard. There's no need to
it's
doubt
absolutely
yourself.
true.
I mean, only thing that is, yes, you're not qualified for the skill yet.
Again, that's what I said though. Me, just using a metaphor. That just me walking it back, telling that version of myself like, oh yeah, we not qualified at the moment. That's okay, but we can develop the habit of becoming qualified.
So okay,
So I'm convincing myself that I am qualified. I have to go to a state of convincing.
so out of the question you asked,
Mhm.
what were you trying to get out of it?
exactly what I just got. See, you just looked at the positives and you went for the positive. Whereas he can see the positives, but he's like, the responsibility side. Am I ready for this? And that's exactly how I get too. And it triggers something else after that, which is imagine what we're gonna have to might have to do to all the people that we like. And at that point, I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. It's so, but all these positives. I don't know if I can do this. This is what I want to do.
Okay. All right, now stay on page with me on this part. So that part where y'all just had both agree on, that's what I mean. Why do people lean on more on questioning, on just start questioning more instead of just saying, we already know what's going to come and we're going to do this regardless? Why not lean more of that way instead of, I don't know if I can type shit. I know I can, but
I'm sure you did that at times.
No. I'm saying, but there's only a few people that lean more towards this side instead of just feeding onto that burden. Like how common answers that y'all both give out. There are a lot of most common answers that would have been like that, but there are a few would say exactly what I just said. If y'all understand, if it's
No.
But I understand what you're saying.
This was the whole point of the test, because I can see. I actually find it's really interesting. In fact, maybe to some extent, you probably wouldn't. If you were like us, you're less likely to do this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about Joseph, but for me, when I make that podcast, I know my family's definitely going to see it. There's no way I'm hiding anything that I do from my family.
Mm-hmm.
But what does what I'm saying say about me? I'm a bit of a more, I'm a little bit more different of a thinker than you. As everybody is.
Right.
I'll give you both sides of a story. I'll give you what I don't believe and what I do believe. And a lot of people misunderstand that as me being cruel. But I lean towards realism more than what I hope something could be.
So it's just like another way of your own manifestation that you're doing.
You get hold on.
It's like
Manifestation.
That's he pretty much say what his manifestation is, or how his thought process instead of pushing it and being 100% of saying yes, I got this and acting it out like you already got it. That's the manifestation part. But if you acting like and doubting that you don't got it, oh yeah, you ain't gonna get it.
It's crazy that you put it that way, because it's like, no, I do have there's a lot of things that are outside of my job description, my whole life actually, or even my everyday skill there are situations that I've been put in and I've taken them up and I've finished them confidently to this day. But if you tell me, hey Solomon, I got some big responsibility for you now. Now you're a professional. And when I separate a professional from, I guess I'd be a hobbyist. I just know things. I'm not certified in what I know. But if you get certified, that means he knows everything. He's got that piece of paper. This is that he studied. That's more intimidating at that point because you're not just.
Because you ain't trying to be leaned on.
You're now, yes. Now you're somebody that everyone's depending on. Yeah. You're the stopgap for information in whatever role that is that you're playing. Maybe it's because I have the way I feel about the whole.
You don't gotta save your complex. That I want to save this. I want to save the world type of shit. You like? Oh, yeah, I want to show everybody how to save themselves.
I have that very strongly in me, and that's not necessarily save the world, but I want to make sure that if 11, young Solomon comes up to me and asks me a question, that I'm not just like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. But instead, I'm answering the question.
Or guiding them.
Childhood trauma, folks. But anyway, yeah, it's just...
Sorry.
I don't know. I think that he's kind of...
He broke the curtain. Let's redo this.
But, no, I guess in my case, it's just me trying to protect younger Solomon. Yeah. Which in many cases is really not a good thing. But, hey.
It's something you can develop. I mean, that's like you said, manifestation. And then also, again, he discussing the emotion. You discussing habits. Mm-hmm. You coming from habits. He coming from emotion. Like
I don't think you could remove emotion from what I just said. It's
well, I'm not saying, but you like it's a habit that can't be learned. To like we both can learn the shit because I just said the same thing. Like mm-hmm. I would approach it from like a fair base initially, but I had to convince myself.
Do a lot of people look up to you?
Huh?
Do a lot of people look up to you?
I don't know. I don't never really.
That's probably where our separation.
Just to get back on topic, what is it the part that make you think that I'm defining that is based off emotion? Like, what is it that you're getting it off?
This is all emotion. This is though. This is emotion. What else would it be though?
I mean, because emotion is not real. That's because when you're saying that, it's just like exactly not what I'm saying. It's not off emotion. That's not my answer. It's not behind off emotion. Emotion is a reaction that your body can't physically feel, and it's just triggered, just like anger. That's
emotion is something your body can't feel.
Exactly. It's a different feeling though.
You get what I'm saying?
So, I actually do. Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm interpreting properly, but look, what's so interesting about you is that when you describe, this whole supervisor thing, you only saw the pros, and you're like, fuck the cons, man. I'm gonna be able to, I'm gonna be able to eat real good with this money.
Right.
Whereas the both of us, we get up to responsibility, and then we're just like, I don't think we're ready. But you're like, fuck that, man.
I'll take whatever
I'm gonna do it right now. Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a ridiculous question. I'm gonna start with you. Have you ever been fired before?
Oh yeah, but professionally, you never say that when you're going to interview. You just say, "I've been laid off."
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's true. But how many times? I mean, I'm not asking for the total. Is it more than 5?
Shit. I'm 33, so I had quite a few jobs. So. No, I won't say I got fired in more than 5 jobs. I think I'll say maybe it was in my early ages when I first started to learn how to work. So I'll say maybe about 3 in total, maybe.
You ever lost a street fight?
Only fights that I lost was against my brothers.
Very good, very good. You have you ever been fired before?
Yeah, hell yeah.
More than 5 times?
No, probably like.
Loki, I'd be surprised if there's not a motherfucker who never got fired.
Twice.
You're looking at it.
You never got fired?
I've never been fired. I think that has been detrimental to me.
How many jobs you had?
Not many. I mean, man, if we were to totalize all the sterile processing jobs I've had a lot of jobs. But I've been good at everything that I've done. But also that comes from a place of fear. Because I want the promotion. And then when it comes along, I don't take it. But, yeah, I want the promotion. I know what I need to do to get it. I've never been fired. I don't think that's good. I think that has it's weakened me.
Why? Because you could perform? That sounds like backwards.
No, because I mean, it probably ties into not being able to make certain mistakes when I was younger. Yeah.
Well,
So
then,
then
that's all you gotta do
just
then.
wanna be
You just made it simple.
What?
Fucking,
Get fired?
no, just get the position that you're scared of and fuck up.
That's actually that's always my play. If somebody gives me a
you want to keep a perfect record. That's
yeah,
what
if anyone
yeah.
tries to give me a professional position, I always say, "Fuck,
You like
this is finally gonna be the job I get fired." A month ago, I was at the gym and I was doing squats, and the guy was like, "No, you're going straight down. You're supposed to lean into it." And he didn't want to hear any of my bullshit.
I would have asked that guy, why are you staring at me while I'm doing the squats?
Sure.
Me?
I mean, the thing he
Keep
did,
it moving, brother.
the thing he did.
This
bring
ain't
up,
that type of party.
He did bring up my ass, so I mean,
Damn, you're gonna get a couple hearts in there for you, man. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna write down his number.
It's on Christoph Hoffman, Amazon.com.
I'm
Cleansing Tag, the Paleogenesis. Read it.
I like developing this man. That was good promotion.
That one's for free, so y'all can have him.
Yo. Shots back at this pussy nigga dissing my land. I'm about to boss up and get with my clan.